guys? Welcome back to Dynasty Football Live. Today, we're going to be bringing you my squad, my team, my Dynasty Football team. I'm going to be front and center today here on Dynasty Football Live. We're going to diagnose my picks. We're going to diagnose the players, why I have those players, how I feel about those players going into this year. And, Manny will give me his opinion on my current situation, what he thinks, how I'm going to finish, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, Manny, I'm going to get into my picks here for this up-and-coming year, this draft that we have coming up this Friday. I'm super excited. I know you are. I know it's my favorite day of the year, man, besides my kid's birthday. And my wife, sorry. But yeah. So we're going to get into this. As you guys can tell, I have 1-5. I did acquire that from you. I originally had my team didn't do so high last year. I didn't have half the team that I have now, but traded a couple first rounders prematurely and kind of hurt me. So anyways, I was able to acquire the 3-1, which is 25 overall in our draft. So I'm pretty confident I can get two pretty good players to go along with the team I have this year. And then 4-5, that's not a bad pick. It's getting kind of dry at that point. So I'm looking maybe to hopefully pull up or move back depending on how the first round works out for us this year. If I can acquire the people I like. So 5-2 and 5-12 and 6-2, because you're only allowed to have 6 picks and keep 6 draft picks in this current format that we have for our dynasty draft. So I do want to let you guys know we are a 25 or 26 team.
25 players.
25 players that you keep during the year, but after every year we have to cut 6 to replenish them with rookies, and those guys go into this same draft as free agents. So the cuts always come into the rookie draft, so we have free agents and rookies in there. So if you want to put a free agent veteran on your team, you can. So with that being said, let's get to my roster. Well, let me ask you this. Before we go to my roster, how do you feel about my pick situation this year? Do you think – what are you thinking here? Good, bad?
I think based on previous years, I think you're in a very good spot. And I know we kind of joke around a little bit, even in this channel about, we talk about players like, oh, I had him, you traded him, kind of joking around. But I think now you're kind of making some good decisions as far as who you're keeping. And I know it's tough because I like trades too. It gets especially in the off season, you get that itch to something to happen, and something to get excited about. Not just you, but me too. I get excited too, but sometimes, especially in a rebuild like I was, you got to be patient. And I really like where you're at right now, and I think you're making some smart moves, especially with that Cooks trade. I'm really glad you got Madison, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I'm really glad that you were able to kind of get that, and then now it's splitting, like you said. Yeah. And you may have 2 RB1s out of that trade. So I really like where you're at right now, and I'm really excited for your team. I think honestly, I think you can make the playoffs. We'll see your team a little bit, but I think you can make the playoffs. And if not, I think you can build on what you have now and definitely make the playoffs next year for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's open this puppy up. I know you got a preview of it. Now we're going to actually diagnose why I did what I did. So we'll start at the top of my quarterback. I ended up, originally when I came to this league, 4 or 5 years ago, I had Aaron Rodgers. So he was my guy. Unfortunately, the year I had him was his worst year that he's ever been, probably a part of, man. It was the year that he just was nobody wanted him. So I was man, I was done. He made me mad. So I traded him to you. You kept him. Next year, guess what? Aaron Rodgers, MVP of the freaking league, dude. So I ate crow on that one. Many definitely freaking, he won that trade for sure. I'm not even gonna let y'all know what it was, but I'm happy to have Mr. Rogers back. So Rogers, he could be good this year, man. Got Garrett Wilson looking good. Got a nice little running back stable, and Rogers produces pretty much every year. It's just how much help are you going to give him? And I think the Jets have shown that they're going to help this cat out. So I'm happy about Rodgers. I'm going to go into my starting running backs here. Dameon Pierce, had to have him. Never owned the Texans running back until last year. I was super glad I got him. I ended up trading Travis Etienne for Dameon Pierce, Brian Robinson, and I forgot. I think there was one more that I got. I think it might have been Zamir White, something like that. But it was somewhere along the lines of that. No, it was Antonio Gibson.
Yeah,
because I got the Redskins running back, or the Redskins backfield. So it wasn't a bad deal.
Commanders.
Yeah, sorry, Commanders. But yeah, this year I was able to grab Alexander Madison and Dalvin Cook in a trade. I thought it was a pretty good trade. As that backfield has split apart. Hopefully Cook does not sign with the Patriots or the Jets. We'll both be ecstatic about that. I was really hoping for the Dolphins. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Brian Robinson Jr. I'm hoping for 1,000-yard season. If he does, and Pierce does, and Madison does, I'm looking really, really healthy at running back. And if Cook ultimately signs somewhere and becomes the guy that he's been with the Vikings for so many years, I'll be set. So I'll be pretty happy at running back. Then wide receiver, which kind of like last year plagued me. I had Pickens as a rookie. He did pretty decent, and then did not ever have a true stud starting wide receiver. I have, but I traded him too early, which was A.J. Brown. Traded him for a couple of early picks, and that one really bit me in the butt. So DeAndre Hopkins, got him this offseason out of a trade. Pretty happy, man. These guys that I've traded for really have kind of, for the most part, landed in the spots where I've wanted them to, positions that I needed them to be in for my team to compete this year, which, man, this league has been kind of like my nemesis since I've joined. I just have made terrible, like premature decisions, and it's part of the growing pains of being in a dynasty league, going from a redraft league. So keep that.
Yeah, there's definitely a learning curve, dude. It's like a different beast, a different monster for sure.
Yeah, you got to be really, really patient in dynasty. 1 year too early or 1 year too late could make or break you on your whole championship run. So I'll get into tight end here. I got Pat Freiermuth. Love him. Actually traded a late first rounder when he was before he actually came out in his rookie season. I got him in the off season before the season started. Right after the draft, I wanted Pat Freiermuth. I got him, paid $112 for him. Pretty happy to still have him there for what I paid for him. So Philadelphia Eagles, I was able to get them last year in a trade. That one really has worked out well for me. That's in this league, defenses really do mean something, as we don't, they can score you a lot of points, man. Don't sleep on defenses, because if you can grab an elite one, man, especially how your point format is with us, man, if you've got a solid defense, that could win you multiple weeks. A lot of people sleep on the defenses, but man, if you can grab a top 5 defense, keep that. That is a very important asset on your dynasty football team. My bench, Kenny Pickett, got him this offseason. Didn't pay too much for him. I feel like he could have a breakout season with the people he's got around him. I got Ezekiel Elliott. Now, a lot of people would say I overpaid. I gave a late second for him and some change. But like I said, guys, if a running back goes down, a very important running back, I guarantee you they're going to be calling this guy. This guy or Cook, either one is going to land in a perfect situation. And a guy that had 12 touchdowns that is healthy, I'm going to gamble a late second on that production 9 times out of 10. I know he's only 27 too, so I really, I'm not going to get any production at that I need this year out of the 212 that I would probably be getting Ezekiel Elliott. If he lands on a team like the Bills, who just like lost Naheem Hines, or even goes to Miami or goes to, a squad that really could let this dude eat at the goal line, bro, I'm gold. I'm happy. I'm cool with that. So more running backs here. Tyler Algier. Something happens to Bijan, or if the Bijan owner wants him, I can cash that out. I have a solid ground to stand on. He was 1,000-yard rookie back. I can cash that out if I want to. But for now, he's a hold. We'll see how this running back stable pans out. I do not think that Tyler Algier has lost his value. I think he took a big hit. But, hey, they can't run him 200 times, a game. So Tyler Algier is going to eat. He's going to get some opportunities. It just is what it is. You can't convince me otherwise.
Plus, Bijan's going to be used in the pass game too. I mean, I know they don't throw the ball a lot in Atlanta, but they're going to use them in the pass game. So we might see two running backs in the same time out there. So
yeah, I agree, man. I think it's still all these NFL teams are going to committees, man. It just is. It's the new age of running backs because the running backs don't have a long shelf life. So we'll see how it goes. Zamir White could end up being the RB for the Raiders or the Las Vegas Raiders this year. I mean, Jacobs is pissed. He flew out of town. He doesn't want to come back and even talk to the Raiders. I think they're going to trade him. For who? I don't know. It could be Jonathan Taylor, man, the way things are going with the Colts. You never know. Never know. Chase Claypool. Here's a guy that I was super high on after his rookie year. So glad to have him. And then just the wheels fell off, man. The wheels fell off of Claypool. Nobody knows really what he's going to be, where he's at. I still have confidence that he can be the wide receiver he was coming out his rookie year when he scored 9 touchdowns. It was like a jack of all trades at wide receiver. He's got the body. He's got the talent. He just needs to get his mind right, man. I think this guy, he's got to start focusing more on football than he does on whatever he's doing outside of football. So, Nico Collins, really happy to have him this year. I got him in the second round, mid-second rounder for me a couple years ago. Kind of a slow start to his career. That's not his fault. He's had to really play with Davis Mills for the past 2 seasons, but we're going to find out if Nico Collins is a true stud this year because he's going to have probably Stroud throwing him the ball. So I'm excited about that one. Could turn into a top 30 wide receiver. You never know. Who's to know? Terrace Marshall Jr., someone that I'm still high on that I feel fully hasn't. No, this guy was such a beast. I thought coming out of college at LSU, I thought he was the next great LSU wide receiver that was going to come out. Just didn't ever get the true opportunity that I think he deserves to get here in Carolina. Now they're even more stacked. But I've heard he's making some noise. So we'll see there. I was able to get Trey McBride this offseason. Super happy to get him as my backup tight end. I think he's going to start this year over Ertz. I think Ertz is going to be more of a mentor for him and kind of come in on key situational goal line plays to show, hey, Zach Ertz is still around, but I don't think he's the true tight end 1 there anymore. I think it's Trey McBride time. They're too young they're going to start this rebuild even with Kyler Murray there, get them ready for next year when they have all their picks, and they're going to find out who Trey McBride is this year, which I think is going to be a stud. Then last but not least, Jake Ferguson, the one that we've talked about multiple times in our videos. I kept him. I believe in him. I just see the talent, man. Sometimes your eye don't lie, and I think Jake Ferguson is the tight end 1 here for the Dallas Cowboys. So that's my team, guys. How you feeling about it, Manny? How you feeling? Let's touch on some few things. How you feel, what you think I'm going to be looking like, what you think I need, and how you feel I've done so far. I mean, what's your opinion about picking you apart?
Well, one player that kind of really stands out to me, it may not to other people, but I really like Nico Collins. I think, being from, living in Houston, you hear a lot about, the Texans, obviously, and he's making a lot of noise, and him and Stroud seem to have a connection early on in the OTAs and rookie and, and now training camp. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what he becomes, because he has a perfect size and speed combo. They don't really have a true number one there. Even though they have Woods, I think Woods at this point is more of a 2 or even a 3 than a starter. So Nico Collins is quite intriguing to me as a guy who could be more than what he is right now. Like you mentioned with Zamir White, I think Jacobs, there's a lot of questions there. Zamir White's no slouch. He's pretty good at Georgia. So it's I'm interested to see what happens there. So right there, you have two guys that have a lot of potential. It's just a matter of getting the opportunities, as well as Marshall. I thought, I drafted Marshall coming out of the college, and I thought he was going to be something. And unfortunately, just like anyone else, it's all about situation. And and unfortunately, his situation wasn't right for him. He's still in Carolina, but I think the situation's a little bit better, especially at the quarterback position, which kind of was what slowed him down, I think. So we'll see. We'll see if those three guys, pan out for you. Chase Claypool could still be something. He's still young, definitely very talented. It's just a matter of, priorities and focusing. Hopefully he's not, what's the word? Satisfied with, the promise that he was showing his rookie year.
Yeah.
And maybe he wants to put a little more work into it and be better than he has been. So we'll see if changes scenery, because he kind of came into the Bears, midway through the year. So, that's a pretty hard transition to make. So, a year under the off, in the same organization off season or whatever, may benefit him, and maybe he'll be kind of a breakout. So you have a couple of guys here and there that could be, especially on the bench, where's your depth, that could be something that they're not right now. But I really like it. I think you're definitely trending in the right direction. Let's not forget, I know you mentioned you changed your name a lot. Pickens, your part, I like it. I love the logo too. I hope you don't change it. But
the catch was something else, bro.
Yeah, that catch was something else. Yeah. I really like the black and white and him being color. That's cool. But yeah, dude, I mean, I think there's I think Rodgers, I think the two kind of guys that are more established that are kind of unknowns, unknown as far as situation, is Cook. And, we'll wait to see where he lands. But I think if he lands in the right situation, even if he lands maybe not great, hopefully not the Jets, please. But definitely not the Patriots. But I think anywhere else where they may need a running back, I think, he'll be what he was before. It's just a matter of kind of seeing what's behind him and what the scheme is. But I think that's kind of what, like, I see your team and I was like, man, it could be better, but we don't know because he still doesn't have a team yet. And I think Rodgers, I truly believe he could be MVP again. I think he's angry. He already took a pay cut. He realized, I don't know. He made a comment about how he understands they gave up a lot for him, and that it's, with the idea that it would be more than just a 1-year rental. And I think he's having a good time. And I think, if they put something together this year that they can build on potentially next year, dude, you have 2 years of solid Rodgers. I really think your team can take it to the next level. And not to mention, even the years he won MVP, he's probably throwing the ball 20-25 times a game, if that, because they like to run the ball. The Packers did. So I think this offense fits what he does best, which is throw the ball, obviously. I'm not saying they're going to be, throwing it 60 times a game, but I'm just saying he's probably going to put up more stats than he had in previous seasons. So your team can sneak for sure. You have a lot of potential. Man, I'm curious to see what happens with Cook and what happens in the season and the draft, of course. That's next Friday. And man, hopefully, I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out what's going to happen. Who's going to be there at 9? I have the 2 and the 9, so I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
curious to see who falls. But
Yeah,
anyways,
man.
that's what I
Dude,
think, man.
it's coming, man. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the little glimpse into my personal dynasty team. Um, I'm pretty happy compared to where I was when I started. Dynasty is a big learning curve for us all. It's a fine line, like we said, between knowing who's going to break out, knowing who's coming up, knowing which veterans to mix with the rookies. When I came in, my dream team was all stud rookies, and I tried that, and it just wasn't working out. So this year, I'm taking like, you know, a backseat to filling my team up with nothing but young superstars, because I promise you, doing that, you're not going to make the championship until like, unless you keep all those people, which is incredibly hard to do. You have to be super patient
Yeah.
in Dynasty. And this year I'm doing like a fine line, like maybe half solid veterans, half solid breakout guys with the mix of some rookies in there. So I think for me, it was a learning curve coming into Dynasty. I've learned my lessons, my do's and don'ts, which don't ship off all your first rounders, which I have done, but somehow I end up getting them back. You know, I do a lot of trading, and that also will hurt you. Trading picks away and your future away will
Yeah.
destroy your Dynasty team if you're not careful. So be careful with that. Guys, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And like I said, we don't want to just be talkers. We want to show you the results, how we did, what we're doing, where we're at with our own dynasty teams, so you guys can let us know. Let us know who you feel like I should take at 1-5. Take a look at my roster, go down. We've shown you, I've went over every single player. Let me know down in the comments who you guys think I should take with all my picks. I mean, I showed you guys all my picks. Write in the comments, hey, 1-5, Byron, go ahead and take this guy. So anyways, as always, guys, we're going to let y'all go. Hope we will update our teams after the draft this Friday in future videos to show you guys how we did, where we're at, how we feel about going into the season. Strap up, baby, because we ain't going nowhere, and we coming hard every week and every day. Dynasty Football out.